The table below shows the values of x and some values of y for the curve y is equals to x squared. For the range is given there, x is less than or equal to 3 or greater than or equal to 0. Part A, complete the table by filling in the missing values of y. Start from there. So this one you simply need to use a calculator for this. Y is equals to x squared. So when x is 1.5, you just substitute x with 1.5. So that will be 1.5 squared. And this will give 2.25. So this one will be 2.25. Then again, when x is 2.5, y will be, remember y is equals to x squared. So when x is 2.5, so that will be 2.5 squared. And this one will be 6.25. So that is simply what you need to do. Part B, use the mid-ordinate rule with 3 strips to estimate the area bounded by the curve y is equals to x squared, the x-axis, and the line x is equals to 3. The mid-ordinate rule with 3 strips. So what you need to do is simply dividing these ranges from 0 to 3 and ensure that you have 3 strips. So this is what I will do. So the first strip will begin from 0 all the way to 1. That is the first strip. Then the second strip begins from 1 all the way to 2. You see that? So then the other strip begins from 2 all the way to 3. So you can see you've divided it into 3 strips. So the first strip from 0 to 1, the second strip from 1 to 2, then the other strip, the third strip from 2 to 3. Now, using the mid-ordinate rule, you get the midpoint of each of these strips. So let me create a table here, x, y. So the first strip from 0 to 1, pick the midpoint of that strip, that is the mid-ordinate rule. So the midpoint will be 0.5, that is what you pick. So when x is equals to 0.5, y is equals to 0.25. Then the second strip begins from 1 to 2. So the midpoint of that strip is 1.5. So when x is 1.5, y is 2.25. Then the third strip begins from 2 to 3. Pick the midpoint of that strip. So 2.5, and then the y value will be 6.25. So this is now what you're supposed to use using the mid-ordinate rule. Now, the mid-ordinate rule states that to get the area approximation is done by height multiplied by the sum of the ordinates. The sum of the ordinates. Now, when you look at whatever we have here, we need to get the height. H represents the height of the strip. Remember, the strip is from 0 to 1, then 1 to 2, 2 to 3. So the height of each of these strips is 1. So height is 1. You need to understand that. The strips are 3. So from 0 to 1, from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. So you can see that range. 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, that is 1. So height is 1. So area is equals to 1. Then the sum of the ordinates, you're using the ordinates are here. So these are the ordinates that you're going to use. These are the heights. So 0.25 plus 2.25 plus 6.25. So you simply need to add these. And when you add it, you will simply get, just use a calculator for these. 0.25 plus 2.25 plus 6.25. These will give 8.75 square units. That is the area using the mid-ordinate rule.